What is up? Happy kickoff to our spooky season. It is hard to believe that October is this week. It's kind of weird. It's scary all at one time. And, we figured we'd kick off this episode of Hopsgeeknews by talking about the film Screamboat. Yes, you heard that correctly. You might have heard it, you might not have, but we're going to go all into it here for our main topic. So Hopsgeeknews, any podcasting platform, any social media platform, that's where you can find us. Like, subscribe, share, drop a review, all of that good stuff. Join the Discord. If you want to support the page, patreon.com/hopsgeeknews. And that's where you'll find us. So each and every week we go into our beer of the week. Then we go into what we've been reading or watching, go into some news, and then our main topic. Everything there is in the show notes. First and foremost, I do want to promote something real quick. Like we did last year, we did the Hopsgeek Booze for Haley. Now, this is benefiting childhood cancer. You can sign up. You don't have to run a 5K. You don't even have to walk a 5K. If you just want to donate to the cause, you can sign up and donate to the cause. But everything does go towards, childhood, research towards.
That was funny because you're like, yeah, this benefits cancer because we always word it badly. It benefits research to fight cancer, but It's a specific type of cancer called DIPG. I don't know the exact full term, but it is a brain tumor that seems to only occur in children, and it's almost always fatal. So the more research we have, obviously, that's the worst thing a parent can hear is your child 100%. Has a terminal disease and there's no chance. So a friend of mine lost her daughter to that. And so it's really awesome that the people that listen to us and people in our Discord and our Patreon have joined in on this and got running for Haley. And I think that's awesome. When shitty things happen, look for the helpers.
And I think last year we did a random drawing to send a prize pack. So this year I have something planned. I'm not going to say what it is until I know for sure I can do it, but we will randomly pick somebody who does sign up and we will send a nice little, hey, thanks for helping this, and send a little prize pack out. It might be comics. It might be something else. I don't know. I do know what I want to do. I haven't told Lauren yet. She's just finding this out now, but I'll discuss with her afterwards. So go ahead and do that, man. The link is right here in the show notes. So go ahead and help us out, help them out, help people out, help kids out, man. If anything else,
helping people.
Now, because we're talking about a riff on Mickey Mouse today, I am drinking this City Brutiful. It's an Orlando mega collab from a ton of Orlando breweries. It's a hazy IPA. Lauren gave me this one, and
I bought that shirt. I should have worn the shirt.
And yes, I am in my Mickey Roosevelts, of course. Check out roosevelts.com, rsvlts. It's like Theodore Roosevelt. That's damn right. So that's what I got going in my nice Steamboat glass here. Lauren, what do you got over there?
I got on a Mickey and Minnie Halloween shirt from Target circa maybe 2008, maybe.
Wow, you still own clothes from 2008? Jeez.
Yeah. Well, they only get worn a couple times a year, and then they go back to storage. So, but yes, I'm not drinking a sideboard beer. I do have my Steamboat Willie glass up, but I am drinking a Tripping Animals beer because Josh made his way out to GB Bottle Shop and brought home some Tripping Animals beer. So this is
feeling generous.
A double dry hop hazy double IPA. I picked this one because one, it's delicious. I love Tripping Animals, but also there's also lots of alligators around Orlando area and at a Magic Kingdom. And have you ever seen the video of Splash Mountain where the cast members pushing the gator down while people are just going around in the boats?
Oh, I haven't seen that. That's cool.
It's actually pretty cool. It's on YouTube. But they've since drained that lake because they're making the whole Cars area and the Villain Lane.
Oh, that's right. That is right.
All that's gone.
I forgot about that. Oh, wow. That's weird.
Yeah, Tom Sawyer's Island's gone. Kaylee used to love that. That made me kind of sad.
Some people are sad. I know. Well, yours makes sense because Kaylee loved it. So, you're thinking of memories.
It was a cool area.
Yeah, I liked walking around it. Yeah.
They needed a bar on the island, though, or even just snacks. They needed something like that. I don't need a bar, but they needed snacks.
Lauren's like, God dang it. Where's Mom's juice? I need it.
Have rocking chairs. You're looking at the water. It'd be nice to
sleep out there, man. I don't know. That's a perfect place for an old man like me to take a nap. I can say that.
Yeah, it definitely is. So that's what I'm drinking.
I got a ton of comic books this week. Wow.
You really did.
I got a lot. So I'm
just going to lean back and let you go.
Immortal Legend Batman issue number 2 from Kyle Higgins, Matt Groom is just a bunch of really great creators. This is a futuristic take on Batman, and it's pretty solid. I really like it. It's kind of like a Power Rangers type futuristic style take on Batman. He goes undercover as an old man, ends up fighting Bane. The art is phenomenal. It's really gorgeous art. Definitely recommend that. Spider-Man and Wolverine. This is Mark Guggenheim's run, issue number 5. Kind of wraps up, but also says to be continued at the end, which I found pretty interesting. Things get cleared up between What?
But did they sometimes do the to be continued because they're just not sure if they're gonna and they don't want to put the period at the end?
Maybe, but maybe there's more issues. But I mean, so this was issue 5, and Logan was thought to have killed Peter's family. Clearly, he didn't. They see everything gets cleared up because the bad guys
Spoilers.
and everything. Yeah.
I
So
just read issue 4 today.
well, Dread Shadow was the bad guy, of course, and then things kind of just wrap up, and they say to be continued. So I don't actually know. Maybe we'll get more.
I really liked up to 4 so far.
Yeah,
But
issue 5 was still pretty solid. I like the art a lot. It's pretty good. And then I read, Escape issue 2. That's Image Comics. That one is essentially a world where bears, I think they're bears. They're like bears and other creatures are in World War II essentially, but with bears. And then the bad guys are basically fascist bats. And this one takes us back to our main character who is issue 1 crash landed behind enemy lines. And this is him kind of recounting his story. And it turns out that he's never met his child because war kicked off and he had a duty and he was a pilot, always been a pilot, and goes off to war. So that one kind of hit home a little bit. Absolute Wonder Woman issue 12 from Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman, Jordi Belair, Becca Carey is out. This kind of wraps up this arc of the maze. And this is a comic book that continues to just elevate and be really good. And this also leaves with a cliffhanger, getting us ready for this next arc where we're going to see some Amazonian action because they've been teasing it. And up to this point, essentially, Diana has never met any other Amazonian. She's found her sister finally. Her sister finds herself now in Hippolyta's castle, fortress, everything. And that's kind of where that leaves off. So I'm pretty intrigued by this one. And then I did the New History of the DC Universe, Mark Waid. This is issue 3. It really takes us from the end of the 80s, really through the 90s, which was a very weird time for comic books, but it discusses
a weird time for everything.
Yeah, but I want to go back. Let me go back. Being weird is awesome. I was but a child, but a wee lad.
Oh, you weren't even alive in the 80s.
I said the 90s. Okay, I was talking 90s.
Late 80s, early 90s.
All right, take me back to when I wasn't alive at this point. Jesus. I don't know how much more I got in me at this point, but this, Death of Superman, it discusses all those Nightfall. We get Flash, basically his rebirth and everything like that. Really, really highlights a lot of that stuff. So that was excellent. So much good artwork in there. Street Sharks issue number 1. Stephanie Williams is writing that. That is out from IDW Publishing. Wicked good comic book that is out. And this comic book felt just like watching the cartoon again. It really did. It was so just cheesy, quippy, amazing. The art just was ripped from the cartoon.
I wonder where do you have any idea where it is now? I wonder if Logan would like it. Maybe it's something.
I don't think it's airing anywhere. I have it on my Plex. So if you guys ever come to visit, I could definitely put that on and he would be able to watch it. I'm not sure if it might be on YouTube. I don't know. He probably would. I let Oliver. And then when I was at this Tachi Station Echo Base basic comic and toy shop up in Manassas this past weekend, or it's close to Manassas, I should say, Centreville, it was really cool because they have a bunch of toys from when I was a kid. So all the Star Wars toys I had growing up, all the Power Rangers, and they even had Street Sharks in there too. And I was like, oh crap, there's still the rubber and everything.
Yeah, I saw them at the toy museum. It was a toy museum in Austin, Texas. Oh, they had Gem. I've
been there.
They had the 2000s like X-Men toys. They had the whole like jet. Oh, then they had the Statue of Liberty head. That was a cool place. If anybody goes to Austin, I think I posted it on our socials when I was there like 4 years ago. But
that's how I feel about this toy shop.
Tiny little spot. Yeah, it was like $8. You could even buy beer in there, and they let you walk around with the beer. And then there's a little arcade. Very tiny, but totally worth it.
I've been there. And from that, The Thing issue 5, Tony Fleece, he wraps up his 5-issue run of The Thing, basically giving us a lesson on how to get over bullies. And I really liked this 5-issue run. It was amazing. Ben Grimm is the king of Yancey Street. And he's like, Kingpin may own New York, but he don't own Yancey Street. And it was kind of a badass ending. It was awesome and really heartfelt, really beautiful. That some real world messaging that I feel like a lot of us could use today. Hyde Street issue number 9. Read that. Jeff Johns, Ivan Reis, Brad Anderson, Rob Lee, Danny Meeke. That one is taking us into the backstory of Dr. Ego, who we met at the end of issue 8. He's kind of like going to be the villain. I think there's something sinister going on with him. He's also a plastic surgeon. And there's a couple cool callbacks to a couple of famous actresses, if you will, that went and got plastic surgery and things of that nature. And they kind of play with history a little bit there, but it's really good. It's setting up something pretty big to come. I think in this universe, the artwork continues to be creepy. Like this whole time, I just kind of had this pit in my stomach because Dr. Ego is this mad plastic surgeon. He don't even do it ethically. And so it was kind of wild. I did Invisible Man issue number 2. That one's Image Comics, Skybound Entertainment. James Tinian, Danny, and Brad Simpson are doing that one. This is a very slow burn kind of horror. Takes us as Universal Monsters, and it's James Tynion, so you already know it's going to be a slow burn. But I like it because our main character, he seems to show love to Flora, but at the same time, the way he's drawn, it's very sinister, and he has more sinister plans behind. So you're not really obviously he's going to be the Invisible Man, but you're not really sure quite what's going on. And I like that. It was pretty solid. Mr. Terrific year 1, I believe it was issue 5. I did from Al Letson. That was and Marissa Louise. This is basically finally, Michael Holt accepting that he is a hero, and kind of who pushes him in that direction is Black Lightning. They have this really heartfelt message. They were friends at one point, and Black Lightning kind of comes to visit him. They team up and work together. And at the end of the issue, you really kind of see him accepting this role of, yeah, I guess I am a hero. This is what I got to be. And then it's kind of funny too, because he's trying to get Bruce Wayne to buy this Nexus engine, this plant, but then also Michael Holt at one point is talking to a councilwoman about how they need to take somebody to court. And she's like, I don't have money. He goes, I got that. So he's throwing money around because he's rich too. And it was a good time in this one. And last, but certainly not least this week, Lauren should read this one because I think she would really dig this comic. I
can't believe how many freaking comics she reviewed this week. This is insane.
A lot. Godzilla.
Should win like a Nerd Initiative award.
Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe. This is issue number 3. And holy smokes, if you've ever wanted to see Magneto use Wolverine as a drill.
Is that why you said I should read it?
You should. This is all X-Men. This whole issue is X-Men, and they're in Madripoor. So Godzilla comes to Madripoor, and the X-Men are fighting, and Wolverine is trying to stab Godzilla, and he can't get through, and Godzilla's regenerating faster than Wolverine can. So Magneto, being Magneto, against Wolverine's will, just uses him as a drill and drills right into Godzilla's heart, and it's sick, dude. It is so sick. It is amazing. And Wolverine's basically like, if you ever do that again, I'll peel the flesh off your bones. And it's
like an
hilarious.
Unconsenting fastball.
Oh yeah, no, Wolverine was not consenting to that at all, but it was such a dope scene. This comic specifically is freaking crazy, off the rails. Just, I love everything. This whole, Wolverine talked about how he just got his bar, fixed and everything, and of course Godzilla destroys it, and he's in Madripoor.
Is it the Princess Bar?
Yeah, it is. They destroy the Princess Bar. Yeah, it's so good. The artwork is amazing. Oh my god, this is worth if you read one comic. That's why I think you would enjoy just at least this issue, because it's all X-Men and everything like that. But that's what I've read. Okay, I've watched, Supernatural. I'm kind of just watching in the background, and then Marvel Zombies, which we are doing an episode on. So that's what I have.
Should be out by now. I only did 3. So I did Quick Stops Volume 3, number 2.
Wow.
This comic was very meta in the sense that Kevin Smith actually comes out and introduces himself and says what it's about, because it is a very sweet goodbye to Shannon Doherty, who passed away last year. They were working on doing a Mallrats sequel. And so this was actually a scene that he had written for Shannon Doherty's character and Brody. And she actually read the scene on her podcast with him a while back. So you can find that. He even tells you in the comic book which episode to find that on. But it's really sweet. And it's really just that. It's just a scene from the Mallrats 2 that never came to be. But you see how close he was to her, how much she meant to him, and, how sad he is to see her go. So I thought it was a really sweet goodbye to Shannon Doherty.
And so beautiful. Yeah.
Issue 1 was the comic that Holden did in Chasing Amy. So it's really kind of fun to see him just kind of expanding this Askew universe. The other one I did was Archie vs. Minor Threats number 2. This comic book has no business being as good as it is.
It's still going good?
It is so good. It's like ridiculous because Archie is just like so incredibly innocent. Archie and the gang are, and they don't really fully understand the danger they're in or the world that they're in. But like Minor Threats is a very dangerous world. It's all superheroes and villains and crime, and they're in the bad part of the area. And this is like, it takes place before the comic where Frankie Folis is like the godmother of Redport kind of thing. Okay. So which is kind of cool because I thought it was very interesting that she went from trying to do good, and then all of a sudden she's like, godmother and running things. And I was like, well, what happened there? So they're filling that in a little bit, which is really cool. But it's just the worlds are both so incredibly colorful. And like Frankie's superpower is anytime she tries to create anything or toy, it ends up becoming a weapon. So all her weapons look like toys, which kind of blend in perfectly with like Archie and the gang.
Yeah, because it's lighthearted. Yeah.
Yeah, and they also brought in somebody from the Alternates, my favorite character from the Alternates, my favorite character from Barfly they brought in. And so it's really cool to see all of these like little nods coming together. But you can still read it like standalone, but it's also it's just freaking hilarious.
Isn't there a new Minor Threats
coming out next week? Yes.
I figured you picked
Devil or something. Yeah.
You're going to be reviewing that, right? Okay.
I already made the cover photo.
That's okay. That's what I thought. I figured you were, but I just because I thought I saw it and I was like, oh wow, they have another one coming out. They're on a heater too. I feel like they're both silently and not so silently doing some really incredible comic books, especially for Dark Horse. But I don't see enough people talking about it. But each and every week you're raving, when you have those. And I've read some of them. I'm very far behind on those because so I'll have to.
They're both Dark Horse, Quick Stops and Archie. Anybody who's a Kevin Smith fan should be reading the Quick Stops comics. They're awesome. And then I did Hornsby and Halo number 10, which is from the world of Ghost Machine at Image Comics. And that one, not much is happening in each issue. So it feels like it's like kind of a slow build. So we'll see what happens. But that's the one with the demon child and the angel child. But they're really just like normal acting children.
First ghost coming.
I don't know. I thought they would be out.
I'm getting really annoyed. Yeah.
Yeah, everything from Ghost Machine is absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah, dude. Rook is getting ready to come back next week with issue 7 as well. So, now's the time to pick up the trade for that, get, refresh Jason Fabok. And then I want to say we're working on a couple things with the Ghost Machine to see what we can do, but it's busy for people right now with New York City Comic Con. But I do believe we're going to have Brian Hitch coming through in November. We were doing some workings and things. Ken and I were, so shout out to Ken, ODPH pod, check him out. But let's go into some news.
Lots of holiday covers look like they're coming up, so that makes me excited.
Oh yeah,
especially the Rockefellers.
October, November, December. Jeez, we are.
But they actually do the holidays, which is really cool. Like they integrate the holidays at least into Rockefellers, which I freaking love.
I'm very behind on that, but yeah, let's go into some news. So James Gunn has shared a copy of the next Superman movie script. Come on, it's Brainiac. It's the human head with the brain.
Yeah.
It makes the most sense. And it makes me kind of wonder with Peacemaker, these last 3 episodes are going to go hard.
Oh, by now episode 6 has come out, but we haven't seen it yet.
Brainiac going to be making an appearance in this to set up for Man of Tomorrow, I wonder.
Said it leads directly in. You know what's really messed up, though? So this Peacemaker is going to end in October, and then we're going to have to wait until July of 2027?
For Man of Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, no, June 26th at least is Supergirl, and then we get Clayface, though. But yeah, I mean...
Supergirl. Okay.
July of 27 is going to be... Yeah.
All right. I guess that's not too, but it just seems like, I feel like it's going to end on a cliffhanger and then it's going to be like, well,
it does. Yeah.
That'll be a while.
I agree, but I wonder, hopefully, I don't know, because they don't really have anything else aside from Supergirl, Clayface.
Take time and do it right.
Yeah. I'm ready to get some like other, well, they were talking loosely Wonder Woman, but they haven't cast anybody for Wonder Woman yet.
We have Creature Commandos. Oh, Blue Beetle.
Oh, yeah.
James Gunn has said Blue Beetle is consistent with his DCU.
So, yeah, I wonder if Blue Beetle even might make an appearance. Who knows?
I don't know.
What happened?
I'm struggling to finish Cobra Kai, man.
I have not yet. Dang, I completely forgot. Yeah.
Somebody died at the Sakatakai.
Oh. Oh, okay.
And now I don't know what's happening. That show's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm behind. You know what? To me, it ended on a nice I guess I don't even remember the last thing. Anyways, what happened to Tom Holland?
Oh, this stinks. So he suffered a concussion on the set of Spider-Man. He's supposed.
Did he really forget that he was
okay.
Peter?
Maybe. Oh, poor guy. I mean, that can be scary. Yeah, that can be very scary. So
brain injuries, man. No joke.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with that. So they delayed filming, and people are like, "Oh, it might delay the day the movie comes out." I don't give a shit as long as he's okay. I can wait for the movie and to have a fully healed.
I would much rather him be healthy. Yeah. Please don't rush back. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Take your time. Listen to your doctor. Don't push yourself. Oh, you know what I did buy that I should drink on one of our podcasts soon? Maybe I'll do it when we record Zombies later. I bought his non-alcoholic beer. So,
really?
Yeah, think it's Bureau is what it's called. So I actually got like a 12 pack of it, just like at the grocery store.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
cool.
a variety pack. So
Ooh. Are you gonna trick me with it next month when I'm there? Where it's gonna be Saturday night, and you're like, yeah, you can get a beer at this fridge, and next thing you know, I'm drinking a non-alcoholic again.
and then you feel better the next day.
Yeah, the call time for that half
Magic.
marathon, the parking lot opens at 2:30. I was like,
I never get there that early.
whoa.
Everybody like worries and whatnot. I'm always like, I overslept one time. I woke up at my house at 4 one time, and the race started at 5:30. I got to so my house with no traffic is 35 minutes to Epcot. I got there in like 22.
I mean, I figure if I get there by 4, it'd be fine.
That's way early. Yeah, I think it'll be plenty of time to be there by 4.
Also, not to mention, I'll be all right. I'm not worried about sleep. I'll be fine. Once I start running, I'm not going to be like, you know,
Well,
how
I
many
will
people, whatever.
say I ran really fast that race because it was like my adrenaline was still pumping when I got
That's
there.
true. The map came out, and man, after you leave Hollywood Studios, it's like barren wasteland until you get back to Epcot. That's gonna suck. After mile 7, like woof, that sucks. I'd rather have like all the fun stuff be on the back half than the front half, because then at least it's gonna adrenaline rush you through that miserable part of the marathon.
It looks very similar to the half last year that I did, and that was, I'm not gonna like candy coat it, that was rough. Like we made jokes like every mile is magic except 9 and 10. But
it's
they do still mix in characters. They do still mix in you get the snacks at mile 8 and you get the drinks and whatnot. But it starts to become daylight around that time too, which can make it rough if it's hot.
Oh God, that's right. Oh God. All right. Well, anyways, on a happier notice, Wolverine, that game that I feel like I've been waiting for years, and there's leaked gameplay. It's finally coming out from Insomniac in fall of 2026. They released a trailer with gameplay and things of that nature. It's set in the same universe as the Spider-Man games. I will be buying it without a doubt. I'm probably going to pre-order it maybe. That way it's ready to download the second it hits, because first of all, you're telling me I get to be Wolverine and slashing people up. They're only going to have the X-Men in it. So don't expect like Spider-Man and things of that nature is what they said, but it looks really good. I'm really excited for this. Finally. I'm waiting on that. I'm still waiting on the Captain America Black Panther 1943 game too. Like, what the hell?
Unbelievable.
I know.
Spaceballs 2 had their table read, and it's so cute because Rick Moranis came out of retirement. I love it. And I loved seeing the photos of like the Spaceballs 2 read through next to like Force Awakens. And we're definitely going to need to do an episode on that, because like I grew up watching Spaceballs on repeat, having never seen Alien or Star Wars or any of that. So like when the alien pops out of the tummy, when I first watched Alien like a year or two ago when we did the episode, in my head I immediately started singing like "Hello my baby, hello my darling," because that's my Alien scene. So I'm very excited.
I am pretty excited for that. I just got picture messages. Oliver apparently is going to be in a blow up Godzilla costume for Halloween, and
that's fun.
The pictures that I just received are absolutely freaking hilarious. Anyways, that's all we kind of have for news. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back. Screamboat time, babies. All right. Hey, Screamboat, we're here. Yes. Now, you may be wondering, what is just going on? How are they able to make this riff off of Mickey? Like, the mouse doesn't like anybody. They will sue you to oblivion. Well, I have news for you. Steamboat Willie, you can see kind of a riff here. That's how we're able to make these nice pint glasses. So you can get him for $9. I'm just kidding. But
become a Patreon.
Yes.
All our Patreons have one.
Is a 7-minute long cartoon that first came out in 1928. Wow. Mickey Mouse is a mischievous deckhand on a riverboat that is under the command of a tyrannical Captain Pete, who you may also know from the Goofy movie. In a way, it's almost creepier than Screamboat.
He's in a bunch of stuff. I like that you said Goofy movie.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he is in a Goofy movie.
All the songs featured in this are whistled in Screamboat. Fun fact. It was directed by Oob Iwerks and Walt Disney himself. This is, of course, Mickey's first ever debut as far as being distributed. Other shorts, like Plain Crazy, have been made. Now, why don't you tell us a little bit about, or I'll go into the fun facts and I'll let you describe what public domain is, essentially. So Steamboat Willie was supposed to be public domain in 2003. However, Disney took it to court and they got licensed for another 20 years because why not? So he officially became public domain on January 1st, 2024. The informal name for this act is called the Mickey Mouse Protection Act. It was actually called the Sonny Bono Copyright Term Extension Act of 1998, but it doesn't sound as cool. Now, Variety's review of Steamboat Willie read, not the first animated cartoon to be synchronized with sound effects, but the first to attract favorable attention. This one represents a high order of cartoon ingenuity, cleverly combined with sound effects. The union brought laughs galore. Giggles came so fast with the colony that they were stumbling over each other. That was Variety, November 21st, 1928. So, what is public domain exactly, my lawyer friend?
So, public domain, meaning it's now anyone's toy to play with, but you still do need to be careful. The laws have changed over the years. Like we mentioned, Disney changed it a bit. So, and also here's a legal disclaimer. This is not legal advice. If you intend to create something with an already created character, make sure it's public domain first and follow the terms of still honoring the copyright of said character. So at this point in time, anything published in the States before 1929 is public domain. So Pooh Bear, Steamboat Willie, Minnie, Piglet, Dracula, Felix the Cat, etc. This is why you see so many different versions of The Little Mermaid or Dracula. Disney does not own The Little Mermaid. They just own their version of it. Oh. So when something comes into public domain, depends on when it was created, when the person who created died, if the thing was created under an employer, and if it was registered. So once something is public domain, new projects can only use the character as it was when it came out, hence Steamboat Willie and not just Mickey altogether. So when superheroes start to become public domain, which is not that far into the future, they will have to look as they did in their first issue. So think about that. It would have to be Captain America's first outfit, Superman's first outfit. Those are the only ways those characters will be able to be depicted if you don't actually own those characters. So now Disney still owns the Steamboat Willie trademark. Basically, this means anybody creating a Steamboat Willie story can't make it seem like a Disney film at all. So it has to be very clear.
I would say
an alternate version. Yeah, Screamboat nailed it.
Screamboat did a good job.
All in all, basically, if you want to use a public domain character, talk to an attorney who specializes in that area.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Well, the IMDb description of Screamboat is on the last ferry of the night in New York. Passengers and crew are hunted by a merciless rat, and what should have been a peaceful crossing turns into a bloody massacre. This is from the producers of Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2, and The Mean One. I don't recommend watching The Mean One, but directed by Stephen Lamorte, or Lamorte, one of the two. Written by Matthew Garcia Dunn and Stephen Lamorte. It stars David Howard Thornton, who is Art the Clown and the Evil Grinch, Tyler Posey, Sarah Copkin, and more. Now, you might remember a bit being mentioned this because Carrie, myself, our unofficially adopted daughter, Megan, and I think was it Tabby? Might have been Tabby too. No, it was just Megan, myself, and Carrie. We saw that they were doing the Fright Fest weekend at MegaCon, the whole thing, and Screamboat was going to be airing. So we went in there, we sat in there, we were really pumped, like, hell yeah, this is my dream. They had technical difficulties and issues. So we didn't end up getting to watch it there. I was bummed, but we talked to the producers outside afterwards. We got to see the actual Screamboat, Willie, Mickey, whatever you want to call him, that's in this movie. They had him out there. It's like a 3-foot tall thing. So it's legitimately like a 3-foot tall, like whatever statue they had of it.
Creepy guy.
But yeah, it was cool. And so we didn't get to, I've been dying to watch it. And finally it's on Peacock. So we thought, what better way to kick off the spooky season than to go into this. And, I love B-rated films as much as the next. And I've watched some really bad ones lately. The Popeye whale film, whatever the hell that was. This one, we had no right being as good as it was. I thoroughly enjoyed the hell out of this movie. It was ridiculous. We get the drunk Staten Island girls who are obviously,
princesses.
Yes, Cinderella and Jasmine.
The girl's name's Cindy, and she's Jazzy. Yeah.
Yes. So we get them, you get a whole slew of just other characters, but they're all, I thought the main guy in this was actually pretty good too.
And his name was Pete.
It was Pete. And
Deckhand Pete.
Spoilers ahead, by the way, for this movie.
So from here on out, it will be spoilers. Wanted to do a little non-spoiler before.
Lauren, what is your non-spoiler thoughts?
My non-spoiler thought.
Because you texted me. I was very surprised by your text.
So I watched this with Brielle, my 13-year-old, and we were dying laughing the entire movie. So this movie I felt like was more a comedy than a horror. Like, you're not really scared at any point. The whole time I was kind of like, they better not do anything to this child. And they didn't. There was one child. The child was safe. Everybody else was not. But it was, so I feel like it was like a love letter to Disney adults who enjoy cheesy horror movies. And like, if you want to get drunk while watching this, take a sip anytime there is a Disney reference.
Oh yeah,
Many
there's
of
so
them
many.
are incredibly subtle, so you really do have to pay attention. But this was hands down the funniest horror movie I've ever seen. And I did not expect it to be filled with Disney Easter eggs. I did not
Yeah, I
expect
was
so many
surprised that too.
quotes. I
Because
mean,
they had the picture of Waltz.
yeah. Am
He
I still
froze.
frozen?
They had the picture of Waltz. You know, they were going into
It was
Waltz or
frozen like
whatever.
Walt's
When they're telling the
cryogenically
backstory.
frozen
Well,
head.
yeah, they went to the backstory and they were talking about Waltz and the backstory and everything. I was like, wow, they're really leaning into the
cartoon
Disney
guy,
aspect. I was like,
oh, yes. Okay, so why don't you, because you're really good at giving descriptions of movies like off the cuff. So why don't you do that, and then we'll talk more of like the little things that we picked up in the Disney Easter eggs. And I do have a couple
yes,
fun facts.
all right. So pretty much the girl Selena, she's trying to get away from our Disney drunk princesses who are celebrating Cindy's birthday. Now I don't know, this was a disgusting ferry. First of all, it was the last ferry of the night and there was like nobody on it. We also meet our EMS lady who's talking to the drunk guy who's always passing out. You know, a slew of other characters. We got a kid involved. Pete and Selena are the two main characters. They kind of have a thing for each other, as it turns out. So they're on this ferry. It's foggy and they weren't supposed to leave, but the guy who was telling him says, "Hey, just go ahead and leave." And then
he's like, "I'm constipated and I'm tired. We're going."
Yeah, and so they leave. They're out there, and that's when we see, of course,
Said it a little worse though.
Little Willie out there running around. He's chuckling away. There's, yeah,
he's not the only little Willie in this movie.
Oh my god. Yes,
I made Brielle cover her eyes for that part. I just like, can I open them again? I'm like, nope.
Where this guy who's a cop gets followed by the girl, and it turns out they were having like an affair or something.
Oh,
and she takes off her shirt.
She goes, "Can you feel the love tonight?"
She did, and then she starts, going down on him, and you got perverted little Steamboat in the locker there getting into it, and then he makes eye contact with the guy and like, jumps out with and he cuts the guy's dick off with a machete, and he's just bleeding out everywhere and dies, and it's ridiculous.
But that's not the last we see of the little Willie.
No. He kicks it.
It makes another appearance later. All right, so we're on the Staten Island ferry. It's very foggy, and then ship starts to go down.
Yes, Steamboat starts killing people because why not? And it turns out because he was a little deckhand or whatever. He fell, he formed a partnership. The boat wrecked at one point. It sunk. The guy who he was friends with died.
Origin. They gave us the origin of like Mickey was a regular mouse that was tortured and experimented on. And Walt felt bad for him, and he was supposed to be shipped off to Magic Kingdom in Orlando, Florida. And instead, it literally said that on the crate. And then Walt felt bad for him and let him out of the cage. And you even see when they're showing the flashbacks of experimenting, they have the sketches of Mickey and Oswald. And this.
I didn't realize it was Oswald.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So Oswald, anybody who doesn't know, that was Walt Disney's creation before Mickey Mouse. Oh. However, he created it under another employer, so he didn't own Oswald. Oh. So when he left to start his own company, he had to leave Oswald behind. Disney, of course, owns Oswald now because they own almost everything. So that's why you can now find Oswald the Lucky Rabbit stuff at Disney.
That is hilarious. So pretty much he turned demented horror and starts killing everybody. Poor Pete bites the dust. He gets killed. And
does he? Did you not see the end credit scene?
Pete's
still alive.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot about the end credit scene. Thank you for your.
Do you know what I really wanted to happen? I wanted to see, because I was like, oh no, they didn't.
I'm coming for you, buddy.
But then when we heard Pete, and I'm like, please let him be missing a leg. I'm like, because then he'll be Peg Leg Pete, because Pete is Peg Leg Pete in some of the old Mickey cartoons.
It was so also, that's right. Pete wasn't the only one who had a thing for Selena. Obviously, Steamboat, Mickey, Willie, whatever you want to call him, had a thing for Selena. She dresses like Minnie Mouse, essentially.
She never gets killed. And the first time he sees her, you see the actual hearts popping up.
Yeah, it's so, he's just like, doo, doo, and he's just like, oh. David Howard Thornton plays it amazingly. Obviously, they have him shrunk down too and use green screen effects. The effect, for that was pretty decent too, for what they had to work with budget-wise. Yeah. And, the EMS lady gets stabbed. You think she's dead. I thought the most hilarious scene to me was when Steamboat knocks the kid off the boat, and they just kind of like don't even care, because Selena, they ends up stabbing with scissors thinking that you kill Steamboat Willie, knock him off, and then they don't even bother to like go and rush to find the kid, and then we just pan over and see the kid floating in the water on a trash can. It's like
the kid from Captain America.
Yeah, they didn't care. The kid got thrown off into the water, and they did not care at all.
Yeah,
It
they
was
weren't too concerned. I was like, what about the kid?
hilarious.
Did you notice though? So Brielle actually noticed, and she's like, rewind it and pause it when the kid was in the water. Did you see all, because he's floating on a trash can, and did you see the trash that was around him?
No, I didn't pay attention to that. No.
So it was Mary Poppins' umbrella. It was the lamp from Aladdin.
Oh,
It was Mrs.
wow.
Potts and Chip and Lumiere. I wouldn't be surprised if there was other stuff that we just couldn't make out. But
They did some justice on this. Okay.
Brielle caught that 100% because she's like, we paused it and we looked at and like Mrs. Potts and Chip look legit. Like they don't have faces.
I gotta go back and I gotta see that again. I was just enjoying the fact that the kid was floating on a trash can. And so we think, Selena, she makes a joke because the EMS lady early on was like, you're not going to cut it in New York and all that. And then that's when the EMS lady is like, I'm from Seattle. Yeah. And they form a friendship. They survive. But as we pan, we get Steamboat Willie still lives. So there's going to be a sequel. There's going to be a sequel.
He found Minnie. And that's who he was looking for the whole time.
Yeah. And Minnie shows up. You don't see full on Minnie, but she shows up and you see her from the waist down. And end credits, but the end credit scene, of course, Pete's still alive and he's radioing into the guy who let them go. And he's like, Pete, I'm coming for you, buddy. And that's when it ends.
And most of the people died via electrocution.
Well, okay. Yes. I was going to say.
That's how he took out most of them.
So there's not a whole lot of people, but the extras that they did have on the ferry, they're all congregating. They're talking about what they should do. He shows up.
Like somebody gives a great New York speech. Yes. We're New Yorkers. You don't mess with us. We got this.
And then he sprays water on the floor and then electrocutes like everybody. And it's hilarious.
The kid was on a rubber mat and the other guy had rubber shoes on. Okay. So I like that they explained how they survived. I appreciated that.
I also loved, the captain who's on the boat, he gets his head ripped off. Now, what's hilarious is when they go up to the captain's quarters and they're like, oh my God, is that the captain? And then Pete goes, that's not the captain. And he goes, that's the captain. And the captain's head's just sitting there. And that was unintentionally hilarious, but the way he said it was just so good. And the deaths get pretty brutal. Of course, there's the kid who's doing cocaine, who's in the outfit there, who he thinks he's seeing things, he's hearing the whistle, and then he ends up
I'll get another. He was dressed as a Statue of Liberty. Yeah. He's like, I'll just get another helmet thing.
Yeah, he's trying to run away, and then he gets his Achilles cut and dies there. But there's some pretty clever deaths. I would have put that mouse to the freaking moon, dude. That boom. But he gets around. Get it.
That every time Willie killed somebody, he did a little tap dance.
Yeah, he was so overjoyed. It was the whistling and the tap dance and just the overjoy that we got from him.
It was showed like a level of innocence, almost like Vigilante and Peacemaker. Like he still has a level of innocence, even though he enjoys murdering people.
He does, yeah.
But, I thought it was interesting. I felt like they used the music, and it's a cliche. The music before every Disney movie, the
yeah.
So they do that throughout the movie, but it's almost like the Jaws theme. So as soon as you hear that, somebody's about to die.
That's a good point. Yeah, because you're right. Anytime that we caught the whistling, that's a good draw to Jaws there. Actually, I didn't even think about that. That's a good
in the open water.
You are.
So let's do some fun facts, and then we'll talk about more of the random things we found. Oh, and this was Brielle's description. This is my 13-year-old's quote.
Oh yeah, do it.
Quote, this movie is so peak, I can already tell, end quote. And when the movie ended, she said, that movie was so peak.
If for anybody out there who is old like us, peak
that means really amazing.
Good. She, in 13-year-old speak, she liked it.
Yes.
So
she didn't even say 6-7 the whole movie. She just enjoyed it.
Oh, that haunts me to this day. Still, my kids say it. That's probably the one young person speak that I don't understand to save my life. I don't know why you say it's like.
I even watched the video with the song.
I know this. I don't. Anyways, the boat used for filming is the decommissioned Staten Island ferry that was purchased in the year 2022 at an auction for $280,000 by Colin Jost and Pete Davidson. Jost has joked that it was the dumbest purchase ever. However, they do have some bar/hotel plans in mind, so stay tuned. Hopefully there's not a murderous mouse aboard.
Maybe there is. There was.
Maybe there is. Be a lot cooler if there was.
Be a lot cooler if there was. So the ferry is called Mortimer Ferry. And so Mortimer was actually the name that Walt Disney wanted to give Mickey, but his wife Lillian was like, that's a terrible idea. You should name him Mickey.
All right.
And just like that, Lillian changed history.
Oh, I like that little callback with the boat name, though. That's cool.
So
And then you already
Mortimer is
said awful.
actually they've used Mortimer since then. So like Mortimer's usually like a not nice guy and stuff. So like in Once Upon a Christmas, he's Minnie's mean boss, Mortimer Mouse. So
Okay.
he's usually not the nicest dude. So I think that's kind of funny how they use
Anybody
that.
listening to this probably didn't realize they're going to get as much Disney lore as they're probably getting here. I'm
And
getting a
most
lot
of it I
Disney
didn't
lore.
even research. I just know it. I don't know if that's
True.
sad. It's
Well,
probably sad. That's why I love this movie so much.
That's probably true. All the Easter eggs. We already talked about Oswald. So the birthday party drunk girls were all princesses. We talked about Sleeping Beauty is yawning. Jasmine, aka Jazzy, says she is a prize to be won. Ariel says she wants to be where the people are. And of course, Cindy loses a shoe.
But
And they apparently have a never-ending flask that's all jazzed out too.
I know there's so much of that. Oh yeah, another thing when the kid was in the water, they did yell at him, "Just keep swimming."
I did catch that one. Yes. Again,
So
they didn't care about the kid on the trash can at all in that dirty ass Hudson River. Oh God, the kid's got diseases.
Princesses, like, how great was that though? Because Jazzy is like an influencer, and then because the line is, "I'm not a prize to be won," and she's like, "I'm a prize to be won.
Oh, and they were making
I'm
those
going to show
faces
them
too.
a whole new world." Yes.
And then, but okay, so they're making those like faces, and then he just drives a forklift into them, and they let it. They're
Straight
watching
into
it
their
happen,
faces.
and it just right into their faces and everything. It was gnarly, and oh my God! Again, the deaths were great, and put the one security guard gets dumped overboard and slowly chopped up in the engine there too, which was their propeller, I should say.
The propeller,
A lot of good gruesome deaths here. Probably is a fun one to make, but. When one of the employees is handed a flathead screwdriver instead of a Phillips, he says, "I'm surrounded by idiots."
The line Scar says that
Yes.
to the hyenas. Not you, Scar.
Okay,
You're one of us.
I caught this next one. What is this next one?
So they saw the menu, and Willie went to the menu and changed the price of the churros on the boat from $6.99 to $9.99.
I understood that reference. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, so churros are very popular at Disney, especially Disneyland. Not as much at Disney World, I feel like.
Yeah, and Disneyland, I'd noticed the churros being way more sought after than any time I've been to Disney World.
Yeah, it's not like when we were at Disneyland, I'm like, we need to get one churro and see what the big deal is, because
they're good.
They're fine. I mean, the churro waffles, I think, are better.
Oh,
but you get those, yeah.
Oh my God, on the boat?
Yeah.
The churro waffles. You get those typically the last day or the day before the last. Forget about it. Forget about it.
But I did love that you see the mouse increasing the price, because that's always like, the mouse upped the price again.
And then he was like overjoyed and did his little dance and whistle and everything too. And it was like, oh man. Now, one of the princesses actually mentions Dole Whip, a pineapple treat notoriously known for being one of my favorite desserts. So
that's another one I don't get the hype.
Really? I love pineapple. Like, pineapple's my favorite thing anyways. And there's something about it that's just so refreshing to me. And then when it melts, it's got that delicious, creamy, juicy flavor to it. I don't know, man. The mouth feels great. It's delicious.
The line's usually a little longer than I'd be willing to wait in.
Well, that's why you just mobile order. Come on. Don't be a silly goose.
Well, now, I mean, I never go to Magic Kingdom, so.
Fair. I'm actually surprised I'm not running at Magic Kingdom at all. It's just basically Epcot, and I'm not complaining about Hollywood Studios. I can't wait to run through Batuu. But I am surprised there is no Magic Kingdom involved.
I think I've only ran through Magic Kingdom once, and I've done.
I just would have thought that they would have, but I guess it's the wine and dine, so really you're more focused on the food aspect, anyways. But
I think the only time I ran through Magic Kingdom was Marathon Weekend. I only did the half. I didn't do the full, but that's the only time I've done it. If you do the full, you're guaranteed to run.
But I'm not. No, nobody should be running 26.2 miles. I'm not ever going to run 26.2 miles.
Ski did the full one.
Good for him.
He did the New York one too.
Good
he did
for
one
him.
in Key West. He's done a few, yeah. All right. So the biker is dressed like Peter Pan. Did you catch that?
I noticed that. Yes, I did. Carrie pointed that one out, actually. Yeah.
He's all in green, and then his helmet's green with just a little red feather.
And this one was good. When everybody gets electrocuted, one of the princesses asks if they're having an electrical night parade, which we all know is a famous parade that has been at Disneyland and Magic Kingdom. And it's worth seeing at least once if you've never seen it.
And they like spin around, and it's all
it's a beautiful parade. I really enjoy it. The kids like it. A lot of the characters are there. Yeah. I enjoy it. See at least once. It's one of those things that I've seen once. I don't need to see again.
Pull it up on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved this little nod though. So
Oh, this
after
one, yes.
I think this was in the captain's quarter where
When they
the
look up.
wheel was.
Yep.
Yes, and it says a scream is a wish your heart makes, but it's in
That
blood.
was my favorite nod, I think, due to there's just so many good that I really, really loved how many things that they fit in there. And you think that there's so many that it would detract, just listening to us talk, that it would detract from the movie, but it doesn't. And they all are
Because the
clever.
movie's ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah, and
movie's
they're all
full on
perfectly
ridiculous.
placed.
Yeah.
And if you've never seen Lion King, you wouldn't have caught that reference. Like, I mean, come on, just keep swimming, kid. Like
They're
you wouldn't have caught
they're
that
all
if you
part
never
of
saw the
just
movie.
like, yeah, the script, like saying things. And aside from that, though, I
Oh,
thought the kills were great. And
yeah.
what,
And then the old guy said, dead men tell no tales. Like that's
yes,
from the
yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Where did the little Willie show up again? I forget because you
I
said
think the guy with the screwdriver or something. Like I remember somebody else knocking it out of the way later, finding it and being like, "What the
I
hell is this?"
because
So
it
I
was
don't
so
remember
ridiculous because
specifically, but
he just kicks it and hits him in the guy's dead face after he cuts it off. And it's just like, oh my god, it's so ridiculous. It is absurd. It is so absurd that I just feel like they made it a point to change up every death that went down, which I thought was good. So no two deaths were essentially the same. And of course, we had the mass electrocution, but that was kind of, made a point because you have all these people.
oh yeah. And then like I mean, like even like before they leave, they go, "Let's get this jungle cruise going." And they
Yes,
also
yes.
explain the whole steamboat, like, oh, before a certain time, like all these ferries ran on steam, so it was consistent with Steamboat Willie.
I just can't imagine that kid in the Hudson River. Oh, gross. And aside from that, though, it was kind of weird how, it's the last, it was very empty, though. I get it, typical of New York, but being out on the fog, I would have swam for my life, I guess. Probably if there was a murderous mouse on there, I would have just
Well,
chanced it and
they
swam.
did mention that with the EMT lady was like, "You'll get hypothermia before you get
Oh
anywhere."
yeah, that's right. That's right. The water was cool. But then so what's interesting though, the only thing that's not consistent is when the kid's on the trash can then, because they weren't concerned about him at all.
Well, it was kind of daylight by then, but I'm sure the water was
Yeah,
still
but the
freezing.
water's
Yeah.
still freezing and they didn't care if he's going to get hypothermia. They said, screw that kid, man. He's just going to be out there and floating, whatever. You'll float too, Georgie.
Jeez, they all float down here.
Yeah. Oh God. It was good. I really enjoyed it. What would you give this movie out of 5? I'm very curious. I'm very
That's
curious.
so hard to answer. Oh, they did. They also Willie at one point got called Pizza Rat and Rizzo the Rat, which is another property
Yep.
owned by
Yep.
Disney. What would I
I'm
give this movie?
curious.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Well,
rate
so
this in
so,
a
like,
way.
think of it, it's a B-rated horror film. So
Right.
the scale out of 5 isn't gonna be a typical scale out of 5, right? Where,
Right.
like, when we rate 1 to 5 for normal movies that are like in, big theatrical Oscar worthy, this is out of B-rated horror films that you have seen out of 5, I feel like.
Uh See if I'm comparing this to every B-rated horror film I've seen, I would have to give this a 4.5 out of 5 because I thoroughly enjoyed this way more than I've
I
probably
did. I
enjoyed
did too.
any crappy horror movie. I don't want to say crappy because that's mean. Because I feel like there are crappy horror movies, but then there are
They don't
movies
have
like
the
this
budget for a lot of things
that
too,
have
they're doing what they can.
right, but their intent is not to be this fantastic horror movie.
No, you're
Like
not there you're there to get chuckles and just
right.
turn your
This is
brain off.
described as a comedy. Like if you go to IMDb, it says comedy.
Yeah. And it is comedy. I laughed a lot. I thought David Howard Thornton did a killer job. Haha. I would say too. I would say
I like looking at more
4.5.
of my notes. Yeah.
Especially in terms of movies that I've watched of public domain characters. This has been the best one out of them too, for sure. And I'm gonna give it a 4.5 as well. Just because as far as, on my scale of films in this genre, if you will, it stands out to me, man. This is a movie I would watch again. I really would
Yeah.
watch this again, and I would be set for however long they
I'll probably
needed.
find more Easter eggs.
I mean, if they come back to MegaCon next year because they've shot the second one, I will sit there and I don't care if I got to wait a while. I will gladly let them do whatever. I'll go help them with their technical difficulties because now I know what I'm getting, and I'm all
So are
about
they
it.
waiting for more? Because Pete, Minnie, and Mickey were in the first
Yeah,
Steamboat Willie, so they're all public domain now. But I don't know when Daisy, Donald, or Goofy go
I'm
public
not sure
domain.
either. That's a
So
good
that'll be
question. You have to look
interesting.
into that. Or I don't know what other characters are really public domain either, but I wonder too,
I'm
because
looking at more. Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of like the Winnie the Pooh. The more those characters are becoming public domain, they're making more of those.
That
The
I'm not
Poohverse.
okay with.
Yeah, I'm kind of out on those, but that's neither here nor there. I enjoyed this. Lauren enjoyed it, as you can see, and if Lauren enjoyed a B-rated
They
horror
even
film,
grabbed Mouska tools. Did you catch the Mouska tool
yes,
part where they
yes.
all
Okay,
picked a tool out of the
so
freaking toolbox?
what I can also say is that we do our Patreon movie nights, and this is probably going to be one in October that we watch with the family. The family. So if you want, you can join the Patreon, join and support the show, come hang out with us and watch this movie together and have some good laughs, hang out, play games afterwards, do a drinking game if you want, and all sorts of stuff. It's on Peacock, so you can go watch it as well. If you've stuck this through, not sure if you want to watch it, you spoiled yourself, it doesn't matter if you're spoiled because there's
Find
any
some
big
Easter eggs we
secrets.
didn't say and let us know.
Yeah, for sure. Do that. Drop us a line. But overall, good movie. Catch it on Peacock. Come watch it with us and go check out all of our other episodes. Spooky Season's in full effect. And we will talk to
Ooh.
you guys here shortly. Cheers, everybody.